Good morning. It's Saturday morning. It's weigh-in day. Yeah, weigh-in day. I can get louder now because I'm farther away from people's houses. Usually I'm trying to be, like the weigh-in day guy, but I'm too close to people's houses, so I gotta weigh-in day. Do it underneath my breath. But things didn't go exactly as planned this week. I hit my fast, and first day of the fast was essentially miserable, so I cut it short. And there's some speculation as to why was it so miserable. I mean, I've been fasting essentially 36, 48, or 72 hours a week for the past 24 weeks, right? And so why was I miserable after 24? I mean, I was doing 24 in my sleep, essentially. It was so easy to get past 24 after spending so many weeks at 72. But anyway, I just cut it short at 24, and we live to play another week, right? Just move it on to the next week and try it again. But I'm about to step on the scale this week, and we'll see how that goes. It would be nice to move closer to my goal, right? But if I'm looking logically at the past however many months of weigh-ins here, it's been up, down, up, down, up, down, which last week being 2 pounds down, which kind of logically brings you to this being an up week, right? And I always, I try to think about, like in the beginning, how much an up week would affect me, and how it is for me now to have an up week. And I think about how I still managed to keep going, kind of a thing like that. But at some point, the real key wasn't so much to manage to keep going. The key was in the process of all the last almost 7 years at this point. In the process, the emotions that came with the gain stopped coming. And that is what I hope everyone experiences that listens, that's hearing the sound of my voice right now, is I hope that everyone can take the gain or take the loss on a weigh-in day and have zero emotion toward it, unless it was some milestone met, right? If you meet a milestone, obviously, celebrate, right? But get to work. My father-in-law used to have this saying, take your time, but hurry up, right? And it's like that same thing, like take your time, enjoy the moment, but hurry up and get back to work. And that's the deciding factor, really. I feel like if I look at the beginning of my journey and look at the current part of my journey and compare them directly, the one blaring fact is how much time I spent in the emotion of weigh-in day, right? In the emotion of either loving my result or hating my result, or being disappointed in my result, right? Because there is that in between, I lost, but I didn't lose enough, right? So you're either overjoyous, yes, I lost this, or you're like, yeah, I lost, but it wasn't enough. I didn't lose enough this week. Or it's like, oh my God, I went in the wrong direction and the sky is falling. The faster we can remove all of those emotions, and I'm not talking about keeping the good emotion because this is a good moment. I'm talking about getting rid of them all. And literally only having that celebration if what you did was meet some milestone, right? And even then, when you meet that milestone, at some point you have to say, all right, let's get back to work. That time period for you to get that result and you to get back to work has to come closer together. And I don't know how long that is, but when I compare it to a gain week at the beginning of this journey in year one, a gain week would have taken the weekend to get over, right? So I weighed in Saturday mornings in my studio, and it literally, I would be getting over and getting back to work on, say, the Monday morning, right? Or not really getting back to work, because I would still go through the motions, but still caught up in the emotion of the game, and then really reset and refocus emotionally on Monday morning, because it's not as if I wasn't tracking or weighing or measuring in the emotion of the aggravation of having a game. I was still doing all those things, but focus is still focus, right? So if you're going through the motions, or if you're focused on what you're doing, you're in two different mindsets, right? And so the real thing here is, how fast do you go from the emotion of the result, with good or bad or indifferent, the emotion, to back to work and focused work. And the amount of time I actually have to actively tell myself to stop and get back to work now, right? And that's it, because everything's exciting now, right? The whole approach of this is exciting now. There is no real, if I gained 10 pounds today, obviously I'd be pretty aggravated. But the work that I do doesn't dictate a result like that. So it's not part of the thought process. But what is part of the thought process is how close I am to a 200-pound weight loss goal that I set almost 7 years ago. And being 4 pounds away, everything's exciting. Everything is like all focused on the finish line, and all focused on meeting this goal to get to the next part of the journey. And I have to actively tame the emotion, where I had to actively tame the negative emotion before, in the early parts of my journey, because the positive emotions didn't happen as frequently. And so all of the concentration was taming the negative emotion, because they happened way more often. And here we are now, almost 7 years later, and it's essentially the exact opposite. And I'm taming the positive emotion, because the work doesn't get done if you don't do it. That's the honest truth, right? That is no one likes to hear that, right? Just take this moment and enjoy it and embrace it and all these things. But you have to get the work done. You have to get the work done. And you have to do it focused. You can't do it distracted. And really, that's what the joy of the results are really in the end, is that they are a temporary distraction from what needs to be done. And the faster you can get over it and get back to work and be focused and intentional in what you're doing, the better off you'll be. Because if you do things with half a mind, you're going to get the results of somebody who does things with half a mind. Michael Jordan never jumped into any game with his mind on what's going on at home. He jumped with a complete focus and determination to essentially tear apart the people in front of him and make it so they never forget the night they played Michael Jordan. And that's essentially the same mindset I'm trying to approach life with here. Is, yes, this is exciting. Yes, everything is just culminating. I'm almost at the summit, the top of the mountain here, of the impossible goal I set 7 years ago. And everything is great. But I need to be focused and intentional, because without that, nothing is worth, everything I've done isn't worth anything if I stop being focused and intentional. And that's what this is. This is life now. This is life. Whatever you're doing today, enjoy yourself. I love each and every one of you. God bless you all.